Hey, Shalom, Markins, Rakam, Kapashim, Jim, and starting give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Chachadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful, the expression is truth and all sincerity. Just a quick video, man. I'm just watching, some of these articles that, that have been popping up, and just, we know what it is, but, the world is going through turmoil, right? And becoming more and more increasingly unstable. Okay, right now we've got lots of articles on people protesting and striking, you know, against their governments and companies and all this kind of stuff, right? We even got we got Prince Harry. He even his a book he got book and some of his TV interviews that he's been doing, shedding some light and some dirt on the royal family and things that be going on in there. And these things, especially in regards to that, could all be staged things and, just to be a distraction. Okay, we know this, but it doesn't paint, the whole thing in a good light, and it makes you distrusting of, the people that, these people that they, are supposed to be following or being ruled by, and that includes the government, the politicians, and that there's a lot of distrust concerning the people that rule over us, man. And the people are seeing more and more of this shady underbelly, of these people, man. Okay, which is creating discontent. Okay, especially when the people are hurting right now, for all the economic issues that are going on right now, right? People are starting to see these people or look at these people, man, as just fucking criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like that they can't be trusted. But we're expected to listen to them and do what they tell us to do, right? And like I said, it's causing a lot of discontent, a lot of distrust, which is basically causing instability. Actually, that reminds me of something. Kingdom, right? Matthew 12 and 26 it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, let me jump up a little bit actually. Verse 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, right? And these nations, I'm speaking specifically about the UK right now, but all these nations, man, they're going through similar things, you know. Other royal families in different places, man. Like the Dutch and their links to slavery and them having to apologize and do all kinds of things, man. They're having to face the music, man, of their criminal past and their criminal present, man, because they're still criminals, But it's causing distrust and instability in all these nations, man. And like I said, all their economies are messed up, due to what's been going on, the Pan V going, that went around and is messing up everything. Everywhere's messed up, and these people are feeling it. Okay, and like I said, the governments, the leaders, man, they're not giving any f's about their living conditions. They don't want to pay people more, making all kinds of excuses when they got money for war, or to pump into Ukraine to fight some war, you know. But they don't want to hear the pleas of the people, man. So people are getting pissed off, right? So it's causing instability in all these places, all right. So it said that every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and that is what's happening, and that's what's going to happen, to this kingdom, to Esau's kingdom, beginning with America, right? It's all going to come to desolation, and even though part of it is, Esau, planning this, he orchestrating things or these events in the world to bring about this desolation, because he thinks he's going to rise like the phoenix and bring in his new world order and consolidate his strength and his power, right? But that's not what's going to happen, because ultimately the Messiah is the one making him do these things to his to his own end, right? He's not going to rise like the phoenix like he expect him to, right? He's gonna go down and he's gonna stay down. Okay, he ain't getting up for no count. He ain't beating 10. You know what I'm saying? So, ultimately he's gonna fail, and all of this that he's been doing would have been for nothing. All this chaos that he's been creating, right? This turmoil, this winter of discontent as some of these guys were saying before. That's what's happening, and it's not just going to be a winter of discontent. It's going to be it's years of discontent. It's been years of discontent, but more and more people are becoming more discontent because more and more people are being affected by it. And we'll see just how long this lasts, man, until it all falls apart. But you know, hey, Lord willing, the Lord comes back this year, man. You know, but we'll have to wait and see. This is the hopeful year, so we always hasten the day. Okay, but these people are going to become more and more frustrated, right? Especially as more and more news comes out about how corrupt these bastards are, man. All right, but let me get in 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 1 says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, and this is why this is all happening now. On a global scale, great turmoil, great peril, great confusion. Right, it's coming upon the earth, man, as the Lord is judging this place. Right? So therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, the uproars, okay, the frustration, right? The anger, right? It's where you got the protests, you got the strikes going on, Some are more violent than others, but we know in time to come, man, they're gonna be increasingly more violent. As these governments and these rulers, push people over the edge. All right. So then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right? This has always been on the cards. This is how it was always going to be. Okay, the end is imminent. Right? It says, for light as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. Even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. Right? So, and this is why, we're here watching, always watching, okay, the things that are happening in the earth, man, and filtering it through the scriptures, man, to get a gauge on, where we are in the prophecies, man. But one thing's for sure, man, we're in the last days. Okay, the last days of the last days, We're at the very end of this now. Right? And even though it hasn't come to its climax yet, man, we can see it getting there. Okay, it's moving there. Okay, it's heading in that direction, man. And there don't seem to be no, pressure relief. Where things could go back to normal. There's not an outlet for that. There's nothing on the horizon that would suggest that things are going to get better anytime soon. No, things are getting worse every year. Every year's been getting worse. Right, so we pray that there's not that many years left of this kingdom, man. All right. Don't think I finished this off, but let me just get this again, right? It says, and if how shall I do their thoughts and say unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Right? This place is not standing; it's falling apart. Okay, and that's going into the statue, Daniel's statue, or the dream, right? Concerning the toes, how they were partly strong and partly weak. Okay, they didn't cleave together. Let me just finish this off. I'll grab that, right? Verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay, Esau doing this craziness, but what does he expect to happen at the end? He thinks he's gonna get greater, become greater, but that's not what's gonna happen. This is from Daniel chapter 2, verse 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Okay, this place is being divided, right? But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. Okay, talking about his military might. Okay, we've got NATO, right? That's their strength. Okay, you got America and the EU nation armies. Okay, they're still got formidable armies, man, because that's what they set themselves up on, right? That's their cornerstone, so to speak, right? The sword, right? It says, "For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken." So you got within the NATO EU, you got weaker nations, some that are just not on the same sort of level, man, economically or even militarily. But because they're together in a pact, in a union, so to speak, right? That they all are supposed to help one another out, but even their relationships are not strong between those weak and strong nations, man. French hate the British. The British, what I mean? They're all really hating on each other, man. They don't really get on, right? And it goes on to say, it says in verse 43, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another," right? And the scripture also say that Esau heaping unto himself all people, right? That's why wherever Esau got a major city or whatever, it's a melting pot, right? But we don't all get on. We all got different customs, different beliefs, and different ways of living, man. So we don't all gel together, man. And there's things that we hate about each other. I mean, Esau got a rich and wicked history of all these different nations and how he's oppressed them and fucked them up. And so there's all those things that even though they might come to Britain or America for quote unquote better life, because they be living in poverty wherever they are, you know, rough, and these more developed nations that have better things to offer, but they don't like the English, they don't like the British, what I mean? They don't like these Americans, and that's why you see in a lot of communities where it's just of that particular nation, man. Certain areas you go into, it's just them. You don't see nobody else there. They own, the whole street is just them. The whole area is just them. Because they stick together and whatever, but they don't really like Esau and these other nations, man. So it says, "And whereas the thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." All right, it says, "And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people." Right, so it ain't gonna be left to the heathen. Okay, this kingdom is for the Israelites. Okay, the children of Israel, the sons of God. Most High's children, right? "But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." Right, so this kingdom is getting broken down. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing right now. It's being broken down. Methodically broken down. Right, until this place is completely desolate. All right. So yeah, these men are divided, and you know they're frustrated. All right, for all the wickedness that's going on. And it's Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16 says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory." Right, because Esau bigs himself up, man. Right, and he's made himself look like he's the greatest on the earth. He's the wisest. He's the the righteous in the earth. He's the strongest in the earth. You know, so he heaps on himself praise and expects praise from others, right? But you've done a whole bunch of wickedness to be in the position that you're in, right? That sword you carried, where you went around the earth stealing and killing, yeah, that's still coming back to bite you, man. And all the wickedness that you do behind the scenes, things that you tried to keep secret, okay, some of it you're letting out, to create this turmoil, this confusion and this anger, right? Some of it's you, but then other things are coming out, you know, that's really showing you devils for what you are and what you've been this whole time. All right. So yeah, it says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. So drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cut of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." Shameful spewing, man. You're getting called out. About your these great men that you set up in society, about how they're what do you call that now? You know, their links to slavery and all that kind of business. Like I say, Harry dishing dirt on the royal family, you know, causing all kind of craziness over there. And like I say, a lot of it's just distraction, but you know, now it's making you look at the royal family like, what's going on, or what the fuck's wrong with Harry? You know, but these prominent people who the world is supposed to be looking, or you know, looking for direction and leadership and that, can't trust these dudes, man. And that's what we've been telling you. These guys are the devil. You know, they're wicked, right? So you know, shameful spirit on everything that you've accomplished and what you praise and whatever, man. Okay, Esau ain't all he's cracked up to be, man. Okay, he's just the devil. Okay, and more people are starting to understand it in some sort of context, you know. Okay, but you're gonna really see it. Okay, Revelation 12 and 12, man. He coming for great wrath because you know you have but a short time. Okay, you're gonna see it as he draws closer to his end, or to what he thinks is his NWO. He's gonna become more draconian. He's gonna become more vicious, become more forceful, right? Showing that he don't give a he don't care about you and what you want. Okay, he's gonna tell you what you want, or you know, he gonna put you where he want you to be. You know, WEF settings, man. You own nothing, right? You don't really, it's like this world, as far as he's concerned, is not made for you. Okay, it's made for him, right? And you don't get to own shit on the earth. Okay, you belong to him. You're property of him, of Esau, the elites, right? That's how they see it. Okay, but the Most High gave everybody their inheritance, man. Okay, we all went to own a little something, you know, you know, land and house and all this kind of business. Esau don't want you to do none of that. Okay, he want you subjected completely. All right, so you're gonna see all that. It's Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16 says, therefore, it's something about 14 here, right? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So it's going to get to the point where people are so frustrated, man, that things are going to get real violent, man. You know, especially when, you know, people's bank accounts go to zero, when there's lack of food, you know, famines and stuff, they can't get food. These people are going to hit rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, man, anything goes. You know, you become desperate. And desperation changes people, man. You know, these what you thought was once nice neighbors and that, man, they're gonna turn into animals, man. Yeah, they could be munching on your ankle in due time. Okay, when they when they really down bad, you know. And you're gonna see people's spirit change, man. Their countenance change. You know, people are gonna be acting wild out here. Okay. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings or princes, right? They're not gonna give a damn what King Charles got to say, or what the Prime Minister got to say. They ain't gonna give a damn what no one's got to say, man, because they're suffering, man. They're suffering, and they ain't gonna listen. You know, anarchy, right? They're gonna down with the government. You know, they ain't gonna give shits, man. You know, this is so they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled. Right? So, you know, realistically, man, everybody brought his judgment upon themselves, man, because of their pride. Because they didn't fear the Lord. Okay, they didn't adhere to the word of the Lord. You know? So, hey, you're all to blame, man. You know, nobody's not getting anything they don't deserve. Let's put it that way. Everyone is deserving of these judgments that are coming. And whatever happens to you, man, you deserve it. Yeah, that goes to us too. You know, whether we be of the elect or whether we're not, man. Whatever comes our way, we deserve it. You know? But like I said, we do this in faith, right? So we believe, man, that we can be delivered. Okay, that's why we call ourselves, you know, of the hopeful elect, man. But we believe, right? But judgment has to go forth, and judgment is gonna go forth, right? And people are gonna be judged accordingly. So, you know, anything that happens, man, hey, you got what was to say? I'll bear the indignation of the Lord, man. You know, if I'm quoting that correctly. Let's have a look. I spelled that right. Yeah, okay, yeah. Micah 7 verse 9 says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. Right? So, you know, even the elect, man, they're gonna go through shit, man, and it's gonna be hard and tough and you be hurting. But again, you know, it's all part of the refining, okay, part of our chastisement, right? Because we're not perfect, we're not, you know, clean, you know, we've sinned too, so we're gonna have to suffer and experience things too. Okay, but at the end, there's a silver line under that we could be, you know, we're gonna be delivered, Lord willing, you know. If you're of the elect, you're gonna be delivered out of that hell that you're catching. All right. So I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light. And that's what we're hoping, man, that we of the elect, and that's what's gonna happen. And I shall behold his righteousness. All right. All right, back here, 2 Ezra 15, it says, so yes, it says verse 18 again, says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Man, it's going to be a frightful time, man. Right, it's going to be a frightful time. Okay? Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, who is standing for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. Okay? Everything's lining up for a time of evil, man. Okay, things are already getting worse. The trouble is already going to increase. All right? Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Right? So there's never going to be the like, you know, nobody have witnessed or experienced what's about to go on in this place. Okay? It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Okay, the elect of Israel. It said everyone that should be found written in the book. Okay, and we hope our names are there, man. Okay, 2 Ezra 15:19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Like I said, you know, people's spirits are going to change, people's countenance are going to change, because it's going to be desperate times, man. And as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures, and people are going to be in that spirit. All right. Yeah, you might have been close, you know, friends. Hey, it's good to say your friends shall fight as enemies, man. You might have been close to people, man, but you're gonna find out that they're gonna be enemies to you in that time, right? Because of desperation, man. Right? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Right? They're gonna ransack your house, looking for supplies, looking for food. You know, looking for shit. Dog eat dog. You know, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, that's where we're heading. This is where all this turmoil leads, man. You know, leading all the way to the day of the Lord. Okay, which is darkness and not light. Okay, so there is no light at the end of the tunnel for this kingdom, man. This place has been divided and it should be made desolate. Okay, that's what's going to happen to this place, man. And our Lord Yahweh Shai is going to return and establish his kingdom. Okay, which is for the Israelites. All right. It's Proverbs 29 verse 2. This is the last one I got here. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right? And I said, the people are understanding a little bit more and more that these people can't be trusted, that they're wicked. Right? I said, people are getting frustrated, man. People are mourning because of their sufferings. And more people are going to be suffering. So more and more people are going to get frustrated. And like I said, at some point, they're going to take up arms and do what they got to do to survive. They ain't gonna give a damn about, you know, these leaders and, you know, kings and, you know, these politicians, these prime ministers and all that kind of business, the authorities of these lands, man. They're not gonna care. You know? And I said when people start losing everything, man, they're gonna lose their shit. Right? They're gonna lose their shit, man, and go out rioting, man. Things are gonna get very bloody and violent, you know? And that's what's currently happening in this place, man. Alright. So, with that, I'm gonna end it there. And all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakwadash. Alright, that will honors unto the elders, the apostles, the GMS, and shalom out there to the hopeful elect, man. Teaching the truth in all sincerity, man. So till next time, I say shalom. I'll catch you brothers and sisters soon.